You are now listening to
Motormouth on WEBUMP Radio.
Yo, back in the building, it's your boy Motormouth 2019. And y'all see this right here, right? This right here describes how all you crab in the barrel, buster ass so-called rappers act right now. Saltier than a motherfucker. Y'all swear y'all seasoned, but y'all saltier than a motherfucker. Saltier than the fucking air. That's why they call San Diego the motherfucking Salty D. And y'all motherfucker can get these D's. And here to further explain what the fuck I'm talking about, I got K-Rock, Def Sean, VOKAB Company, Berkey, and Robbie in the motherfucking building. Shout outs to Ray G for all the camera work. Y'all know I'm a little bit too shy to be having my face plastered everywhere. Not to mention, I look so damn good, I don't want to be fighting all y'all niggas cause y'all bras be on me, you dig? So we ain't gonna even go that route. I'ma turn it over to my partners over in the motherfucking studio. Live and direct is WEBUMP Radio, the interview with VOKAB Company. Let's get it, people.
Yo, WEBUMP Radio in the building. Def She's covering for your boy Motormouth. You know he camera shy. And I'm here with my boys from the super group and my partner over here. He'll introduce the rest. I'm jittery. I got coffee in my system.
So do I, man. K-Rock the Phantom, Far From Your Average, Hype Bomb Records. Dude, we got VOKAB in the house. VOKAB Company. We call this kind of a little summit here. Every time the nominations come out, it's kind of like that top 25 list that used to come out every couple years, and people get real salty.
Yeah, I forgot to bring my bottle of McCormick.
Definitely, man, definitely.
Y'all just
so it's just like that. Whenever the nominations come out, you got people who hate it, people who love it. I guess it all depends on if you're there or not. So we're pretty much here to talk about that. To talk about maybe some suggestions we have, maybe the way things should be done, in our opinion. But we got Berkey from VOKAB Company in the house.
Yeah, what up?
Robbie from VOKAB Company in the house.
Thanks for having us, guys.
For sure. Go ahead and give everybody who doesn't know you guys, who I don't know who that would be.
First off, I just wanted to say.
Little history, maybe?
You said, the cool thing about going to the music awards is I think that's where we met.
Yeah.
I think that's where we met, or at least I know that's where you and I met.
Right.
So,
no, actually, you guys were doing a show at a talk show downtown.
Yes. Remember Tonight in San Diego?
Yeah, Tonight.
Oh, yeah,
We went down, at that hotel.
That's right.
Remember that?
that's right.
We went down and saw you guys on there.
I swear I met you before that at the
No,
music awards.
Probably. Or shows or whatever.
You never know, but I thought it was the music awards, and it would have been a better platform to say the cool thing about going to the music awards is that you get to meet all these musicians that you might not have met, that are out of your bubble, that are in a different category. And I know the point of our podcast is going to be talking about some people who aren't there, who maybe feel like they're not being heard and deserve a chance to be here. And that's hopefully what we can remedy by everybody coming together on something like a summit and trying to involve more people in the community.
For sure.
But I will say, I'm not going to be a hater on. I mean, I just would like to explain anytime anyone's hating is a feeling, man. It's like a feeling that's behind that. So people are in their feelings about shit, and I understand because I'm like totally like that when someone disrespects us. Because of fucking the shit. There's subjectivity and there's objectivity.
Of course.
Subjectively, we can all talk about what we like and don't like in each other's shit. But people who are doing shit deserve respect.
Definitely.
And I think that's how the people who aren't being heard feel. But that's also how the people who might have earned the right to be heard feel.
Yes.
So we're feeling the same way, and like no one can help if people notice them and give them respect. In fact, everybody wants that. Right. Whether you put us in the country or fucking pop, whatever it is that my work is, whatever my job would be.
Whatever someone considers it to be.
I'm gonna try to do it the best.
Exactly.
That's what I was gonna say though, is that you don't think like the same people do that in the same categories or different categories, whether it's like blues, Americana, or whatever, that these people that are trying to come up probably feel slighted too because their voice is not being heard, their music's not being recognized. It's not just hip hop. Just this is the category that we're in, so we do hear it. And I think Berkey and I, when we first started, we did feel a similar sting when our music wasn't getting appreciated, because I think really what it all comes down to is everybody's working hard. So whoever's coming up right now in San Diego that's in this hip hop world or whatever musical genre that you're in, and you feel like you're putting your work in and you're not being recognized yet on the San Diego music platform, which, by the way, I think it is an important platform, and I do have to take my hat off to them and give them a nod, because they've been doing it for years, and they're doing cool stuff.
We have
Like I said, I love going there.
Exactly,
So I
and
became friends with Brian from the
raising
Nervous Records too.
Exactly, they're raising money for kids, for guitars, for schools. They're doing something right, you know.
Right.
But
Every year it's for
but
guitars, I think.
Exactly.
Right? Music,
we're trying.
music classes.
Yeah, exactly. We were trying to get recognized, and back then, like I had mentioned to Berkey, MC Flo was up and coming artist, and she was getting recognized all the time. And I remember Berkey like, why aren't we getting recognized? So we've walked that
When
same
we first
path.
got there too deep.
I don't want to hate either, but damn.
Right, but
Hey,
you know,
she's still working there.
or
It's
even
funny
Mickey
that-
Vale. Mickey Vale back
Mickey
then
Vale's
was
hot
Deep-rooted.
to
Of course.
death.
And
Of course,
Deep-Rooted
mad
was there.
respect.
But this is all subjectivity.
All
Some
in.
people go to MC Flow shows and they like it, and I think
exactly.
she's really creative. I saw her do this new thing that she did. It's like comedy sketch with Bushwalla, and Bushwalla rolls with Jason Mraz. So she made her art her job,
It's her art.
and
Yeah.
people respect it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good ass artists respect it. And if you listen to it past thinking, is this what I'm doing? You'll recognize that it is clever and it's smart and it's well put together and it's well edited. So I mean, again, this is just going to get me back. It's a great opportunity that you're here and we can discuss this.
right.
Because cool, she might not be what Def Sean is doing or some of the city's best, but that doesn't mean she's not an artist doing
No,
something.
not
It
at
doesn't
all.
go
Yes.
into other categories.
She's still putting
this
in
is the whole
work.
thing about categories and generalizing is
Where's
okay.
it fit?
Okay, yeah, exactly. If you don't want to hear where else does it fit,
Right.
and I guess if we're gonna, I'll jump subjects. I'm a little crazy, but coming back to San Diego Music Awards and VOKAB Company. Okay, cool. If we don't fit in hip hop, great. Where are we gonna fit? Because we've even written a letter to the San Diego Music Awards asking if we could be considered for the live band category.
Yeah, best band.
Definitely.
Yeah,
And I
definitely.
don't see a lot of hip hop representation in that category. And a lot of the times, like for album of the year, I think Parker got nominated finally and I was like, oh, there's a hip hop artist in album of the year, because
We
normally an
got
album
that
of the year is
nomination, yeah,
the standard.
2010.
It's a standard like PODs there.
I
if
think
they have
Parker's
an album.
a
Mraz
dope
is there if he
lyricist,
Yeah,
has an
it's
album.
super dope.
Definitely,
creative,
definitely.
just,
Yeah, I mean,
he's doing
And
his
now
thing.
that he has a live band, it seems like all of a sudden now they put him in album of the year. It's like, well, he had product before that.
Right.
So now if he has a live band, does that change how they look at you? Like, do you think that
Well,
changes
this is what
how
I
they
was
look
gonna
at you
tell you.
guys
2010,
having a
yeah.
live band?
2010, we were in that category. Quit Sleep record was nominated for album of the year.
Oh, nice.
And that was a heavily produced record, no live instruments on it. But we were only known at that point. We had never even done shows with DJs. Like always had the band, like from the get go.
That's what makes your music. That's what makes your music
But all
unique
the
amongst
records-
us as well.
Yeah, I appreciate that. But all our records have been with beat producers. So, like one of the hatreds that we get is like, oh, y'all ain't hip hop. Well, it's like, okay, you might have seen our show and think we're not hip hop, but get on our records and you'll see that this shit
definitely.
is
First
on the
of
hip
all,
hop iTunes chart.
Yes.
That as a whole, that need to stop. Okay, hip hop has so many different legs and arms. It's like a damn octopus. You guys are definitely hip hop. We're gonna squash that right now.
I like that.
All these haters running
Yes.
around. Oh, they're not hip hop. Shut up. You're not hip hop. That's why
right.
you're not nominated. Knock it the hell off.
Well, before we go any further, I also have to give a shout out to Odessa. He couldn't make it. Odessa
Yeah.
K was going to be part of this to give his.
Frankie,
his
you owe me a
2 cents.
shirt, bro.
So he had an emergency that came up. So big ups to him. But we definitely have vocab in the building. Why don't you guys give a little history on yourselves, just for people who might not really necessarily know who you are, like how you guys came up.
Sure.
The kind of things you went through.
Let me just say something to your point real quick before we switch.
Go
to
ahead,
that.
go ahead.
But you had mentioned that Parker got a band, and then maybe they started taking him a little bit more serious, right?
Yeah, I mean,
So-
he did win in the hip hop categories before that.
And I think there's something to be said with that, and on both sides.
It was just something I
because
noticed.
because I see a lot of people, just as I've grown up, that play an instrument
Mm-hmm.
that don't not consider emceeing, rapping, flowing, whatever you want to call it. They don't not consider it being a musician or a part of like this whole process of creativity.
Right.
But they don't see it as elevated sometimes. And this is just my perspective and my opinion, but I've seen that. You know, I've experienced it where like people, you know, don't consider you as much as a musician if you don't play an instrument.
Right.
Yes.
And I can see that also within the San Diego Music Awards, because
The press in general, I think, is kind of that. The San Diego
Sure.
press.
And that's why the hip hop category is often last.
Yes.
You know, and that's why that category
kind of the
is
outlier,
maybe not
so.
taken as serious. But, and this is what I understand where people are coming from in the hip hop community, take this category more serious. There's a
Yes.
huge community of hip hop MCs here, tons of musicians. Because an MC is a musician. The patterns they're doing, the rhyming, that's drums. Like, this is
Yeah.
serious shit.
Right,
Like,
yeah.
You know, so I think, like, I get where that's coming from, you know, but I also think you step it up too. Like, what are you gonna do that's different? Everybody, you know, not everybody can rap, but shit, nowadays it seems like
Everybody,
Oh,
everybody-
anybody
you know what I
who
mean?
can
Wants
write.
to rap.
Dr. Seuss, he was the best rapper, and we all
There
learned
you
that.
go.
In my
The-
pocket.
Exactly.
So
So getting a band, man, that's cool. Like, now you're talking Lauryn Hill shit where you're directing, you're fucking like doing like, you know, like, not because that's obviously a queen right there, like doing some serious stuff, but like the
Yes.
way Berkey said he had a vision, let's get a band. I always thought like VOKAB Company, let's make it a company. How can we build it? Who can we bring in? Let's bring in the instruments, man. Let's bring in horns. Let's bring in violin. You know, Berkey had a band he was rolling with. I was like, he and I got together like, this shit works. Like, let's do this, you know. Let's put a little pop element, let's funk element, let's jam element, and let's hip hop this stuff together, and let's be different than everybody. You know,
you definitely
And so
got
works.
that. You definitely got that because
This
you
my
could tell. You could tell the fact that it's kind of like when you see, say you see Jay-Z perform and he has a DJ behind him,
right.
and then say that you see him on an award show and he has a full band
Got the
behind him.
roots. He's got
It changes. It elevates
Yeah.
the music itself. Like
Absolutely.
he
If
could be
you-
doing politics
if
as
you
usual,
watch,
but you got a
Fade to
live
Black,
band playing it. It's different.
You have Fade. If you
it's
watch
like
Fade
way
to
up
Black,
there.
he has both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had the live instrumentation and the DJ.
Right.
I mean, obviously, the foundation of hip hop. You got your DJ, you got your MC.
Right.
You know, that's
Right.
that's the
That's good.
foundation. That's obviously a foundation.
Right.
That's how it came up.
Yeah.
Having a band behind you though doesn't doesn't bring any negativity to what that is, and doesn't say that okay, that foundation. You know, you guys are trying to do something else. It actually just elevates the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Like
I'm-
honestly, I like when there's a live band
It's
playing
awesome.
hip hop. I actually
The
really love
Roots.
it.
Yeah. There you go.
The Roots.
Yeah, biggest shit. Yeah.
You listen to the Roots. You listen to Roots versus some other stuff. You
Yeah.
can hear a difference there.
Yeah.
You could
Erica
definitely hear a
Badu's
difference
band.
there.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, yeah.
bet
And that's
I bet.
when I see you guys live. It's the same thing. It's like
And let
there's
me drop
something
this
going
time
on.
bomb right here, real quick, for everybody watching out there and talking about vocab and hip hop. They got a track with Mitchie Slick. Now what?
We got 3.
Yes.
Well, speaking of that,
three tracks with Mitchie Slick.
Shout out,
Come on.
Mitchie.
Speaking of that, like, so I think a lot of times maybe what they mean is we're not like that backpack era hip hop, the golden era,
Yeah.
lyrical, miracle, spiritual, like. And,
Don't have to be.
well,
Listen to all this
no
trap
shit.
music
That was
nowadays.
20 years ago.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But like, for the record, I don't know any other like crew or band or anything outside of the Soul Sides that has a song with all the Soul Sides lyrics. Born Latif, Gift of Gab. Like, I'm so proud of that to get that Latif feature. Like, that to me, that was the golden era hip hop. And then we also came up on like Zion I. We got a track for Zion I. We came up on Charlie Tuna, or I did. I'll just
Charlie
speak for myself.
Tuna,
I'm talking
yeah.
golden era hip hop. And we came up on Charlie Tuna. Charlie like lets us freestyle when we're around him. Like, that's a big nod to get on stage with Tuna. Man, I can't even freestyle like some of y'all. Like, and I'm just gonna say, like, we've been hip hop from the beginning. We were way more hip hop when we started even than now that we have tracks with Mitchie Slick. That stuff is a little more like, I think I only rapped on one of our songs with Mitchie Slick, and I sang on all the rest because there's not enough bars to go around.
Right.
But maybe one of the criticisms we get is that we're not hip hop too because I sing. But man, I started
Man, come
rapping.
on, dude.
I didn't learn how to sing as we were rapping because we done so many fucking shows, dude. That's how you get out there. This is my real
Yes,
thing to the
yeah.
haters,
Well-
or to anybody, is like, figure out how to do a ton of shows. And I don't mean a ton of shows at the same venue on a hip hop night. I mean,
Right.
go out there
Yes,
and
yes.
sell tickets and go sleep on people's floors
Yes.
and get paid bullshit money, like I did. For the first 3 years, I was touring with this other band, and then I had a route established by the time VOKAB started of shitty floors we could sleep on and shitty paychecks we could get, and barely paying the band anything to go on the road,
Right.
but still having the band.
That's
and,
how you
eating
come
cans
up.
of tuna and
San
shaking
Diego
hands.
has to
I mean,
stop
I'll tell you
that
the real recipe.
altogether.
And I told these cats on that same thread that we ended up talking about, is why we did this, like, like, if you think hip hop is the struggle, when we had the struggle, Rob and I both are maybe not what you think. We heard we're being called Backstreet Boys and shit. It's like, and to be honest, man, it's like you don't really know. Just like I don't know you, but I'm not out here using, talking about you either. So if you really want to know, like Rob and I'm from a single mom on welfare from Boston. Like I had when people talk about being poor, I had a hole in the bottom of my car, dude. The first car we got. Okay, we didn't have seatbelts, none of that shit. Like that's real shit.
No, for real.
Like for people to like, I think it's really an honor to truthfully, to say that I've been able to come from my grimy hole in the knees fucking shit to a Backstreet Boy. Like I'll take that as an ultimate compliment, man. Like shit, I'm better looking than I thought. I always thought I was the fucking grimy dude from the God Is in Boston kid. Like
we take it back to the 90s in San Diego. You got to remember, if you weren't doing gangster shit, that Southeast shit, you weren't considered real rap. You weren't considered real hip hop.
Yeah, because San Diego was like, it came up gangster shit.
Well,
so
all
like the
90s.
main,
let's get real. Most 90s
issue
shit. We were all Tupac raised. You know, like we all got raised by Tupac and shit. So so we're all coming from the same place as we birth into our consciousness as adults and start to realize we don't want violence in our daily life or whatever that is. Yeah. You get to a point where you start saying, well, I could rap about something else. Well, what am I going to rap about? Oh, okay, spiritual miracle lyrical. Back to that same shit, because every god dang hip hop artist is.
That's how I started too. And you
so,
get a thesaurus
dictionary
out,
and you couldn't get on in San Diego if you weren't in the vein of Cricket, Mitchie Slick, Big June. You weren't getting touched.
Well, I remember coming up.
Galoka.
I remember coming up when it was all about gangster shit. When it was all about gangster shit, I remember the shit that I latched onto was Masters of the Universe, which Odessa could really, comment on because he was all part of that. But that's when all the scientifical backpack stuff. Yeah. They were the ones. They were kind of like the Wu-Tang of San Diego before Wu-Tang.
Do you remember
was
Tiger's Temple? See, even before Odessa was Tiger's Temple, Buck the Rabbit Killer, Alfred Howard was in that crew. This cat, Deploy, Joey Lopez, who now raps with Tuna, he rolls with House of Vibe All Stars up in there. And so we go back to 99 is what I'm saying. It's funny that you said the 90s.
What's your other boy's name? He had that song Funky Falsetto, man. I used to be in my Walkman like all the
well, even Dag Savage and those guys that were in Deep Rooted, like we're talking 10 years ago.
Yeah, Deep Rooted, Basement,
But I'm talking 20 years ago. So let's go back, 20 years in San Diego, hip hop, 1999 when I first got down here, and that's when this Cali backpack hip hop was really at the beginning, rising up.
Tony the Schizo, that's his name.
Jurassic 5.
Tony the Schizo, yes.
Was coming selling out mad shows down here, and I must have seen who's that dude that died? Who's that?
Gangstar.
Gangstar.
Yeah.
Gangstar. So this is like the real original hip hop hitting the mainstream, real lyrical, smart motherfuckers. And I was at those shows, and I would go to the Galoka, the breakdance night, and I would watch Tiger's Temple and all these guys and listen to them rap, and I'm like, man, I want to do this shit. And Deploy was the first one I really was like, yo, I'm gonna rap, and I sucked, man. Like I wasn't good. Couldn't sing it all. I didn't know my voice. Everybody
starts like that.
Stage.
Everybody starts like that.
Right? No, of course.
Like a baby learning to walk, man.
But hip hop raised me. From 1984, when I went to 1986, I went Dougie Fresh, Slick Rick.
Yes.
The first hip hop tour ever I was at, Springfield, Mass. It was the first real hip hop tour that ever came out. So when people say that we're not hip hop, it's baffling to me because I've been there through all the stages and watched it evolve and tried to do something new and different rather than bubbity-bubbity-ba.
I think it's that Salty D mentality.
Yeah, like whole DOS effect.
Like if you sound different from what they like to hear, all of a sudden you're not hip hop. It's not. They're not. They're hip hop, but
we
I'm
have
not really
ghost
into that.
fans. That's what I call them. Ghost fans. In front of their friends, they can't stand you. You whack. You suck.
Oh, that's
yeah.
Alone, they bumping your shit. They are really a fan, but you're on. They're not, so they gotta hate you.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's the Salty D atmosphere.
The Salty D.
Well, just some history on SDMAs. I took the liberty of looking at the website. And I went through the past winners just to kind of get a feel of how it's been. It looks like it started in 1991. The best hip hop category was added in 97. The winner that year was Goldfish. Never heard of him. Mm-mm. Does that mean that he's not hip hop? Because I never heard of him. That's what people say. I'm just saying. Then best hip hop album category was added in 2000. The winner that year was Mad Joker. Yeah, man. Death in the Arena.
Yeah, I remember Mad Joker.
I mean, definitely worthy.
Yeah.
Definitely worthy. That's like one of the classic albums.
Shout out J-Watt Production.
That's one of the classic albums of the time. So best hip hop category is a People's Choice category. People vote for it. The best hip hop album category is decided by a committee in which you have to submit your album to be decided by that committee.
Remember that.
So you have to submit it. So anybody who said, you know, hey, it sucks, it's bogus that this list, who the fuck are these people? How do you get on there anyway? If you don't know how to get on there, that means you haven't taken the couple minutes it takes to go to a website and look at what the submission instructions are.
Google me, bitch.
It's that easy, man. If you don't submit, it's like the lottery. You got to be in it to win it. If you don't submit your album, don't say why the fuck wasn't my album nominated. It doesn't make any sense.
He won $2 million from the lottery, man.
Like,
that
I'm
should
sorry,
have been me.
but it's just that
I didn't buy
simple.
a
You got to
ticket,
submit.
but that
It's just
should
like
have been me.
it's just like the Grammys. It's just like every award show. When they make a movie, it gets submitted to the Academy Awards. No matter what that
Thank
movie
you.
is. Freddie Got Fingered probably got submitted to the Academy Awards, even though they knew they were never going to win. But that's just what you do. When you make an album, you submit it. They listen to it and they say, okay, we think that it's worthy or not.
Okay, now that's a good point. And so this is what this is like the main purpose of me wanting to meet with Odessa and you today.
Yes.
Is to say, all that aside, talking about us is irrelevant now. We've gotten our points in that. Now, for those people who feel like they're not being heard, now that's important.
Yes.
Because especially now that me personally, I'm a little bit older and I want to help my community more maybe than I did when I was young and wanted to do more, go out and ball against people and get on the courts and just run it. Like now I actually want to, like, because I know I don't have time to have time to listen to everyone's records or hear shit or go to hip hop shows. Someone said to me after this thread in a private message that, you know, you could perhaps, you know, hey man, you could like retweet a flyer or come to a show. It's like, bro, first off, I don't go out on weekdays at all. I'm not coming to a Wednesday night show anywhere. I can't. I literally have to feed families and work at 6 a.m. and like, yo, this shit's real.
We used to do those shows too, man.
I know. But
You know?
so my point is, for one, I acknowledge, and I think Robbie can acknowledge the same thing. He's a busy guy, works.
Yes.
You know,
Got
we
the
don't
day
have our
job.
ear to the street like we used to here and everything. We do both go down wormholes all the time. I mean, I bump Ryan Anthony. I bump Mitchie
Yeah.
Slick and always
Of
have.
course.
HBK, you guys know we produced a song for him, Heartbreaker. He's super tight
Oh, yes.
rapper. I'm
Heartbreaker's
trying to help
dope.
this kid Trey Aces, who's like incredible kid. I found I used to teach him. Il Nicky is dope. I work with him. I got him a sync. You know, he's going to do a show with Robbie and I. We're talking to him about doing a show at Music Box. Super dope.
Nice.
You know, so we hear as many people as we can. Granted, we don't hear everybody. I'd never heard of Rick Scales, and everybody's talking about his record. It's some incredible record, which is awesome. Like, I'm stoked, and it sucks that the Academy
He's
didn't hear
dope.
him.
He's
Didn't hear
super
him
dope.
or something, you know? So how can we get people who don't feel like they have a voice or are being heard by the Academy? And yesterday I talked to Chad from the Belly Up, because he's booking a show for VOKAB Company, like I said, and Il Nicky, and we were trying to get Mitchie Slick on that one as well, so we could, you know, give that
Nice.
nod, that respect.
Very nice.
And
Very nice.
we'll see. I'm not sure if everything's gonna go through. And people also don't realize how much to throw a show with numbers and promote, and like at the Music Box or Belly Up, these venues where people actually hear you.
Yes.
People actually hear you and go. People out of your circle, your small
Right.
social circle
Right.
of 50 to 100.
Belly
MCs.
Up is a very diverse crowd for sure.
And Music
Yes.
Box is really
Yes.
taking over most of the hip hop booking.
It really is.
FYI.
I've been paying
You know,
attention.
And it's the best.
Observatory-
Those are the two best. I mean, Observatory is a
yeah.
little bit bigger, and so you're getting
they've
in
kinda taken
like
over
people who
everything,
have
too.
different kind of ticket sales maybe than this stuff. But I love Music Box and Belly Up. They've been so good to us. So I was talking to Chad, and I said, Chad, ultimately it seems that the San Diego Music Awards maybe aren't hearing as much hip hop as they could. How do we address that, and how do we make a difference? And what I suggested is a big nod, in my opinion, in Robbie's opinion, because we had talked about this beforehand, is that Mitchie Slick deserves from the San Diego Music Awards like a Lifetime Achievement Award.
Oh, for sure.
Because
Oh,
he has
yeah.
put so many rappers
sure.
on.
Oh yeah.
He
For
has
sure.
put everyone on, and if you meet him and talk to him, and he believes in your music, bro, he's like so legit there to help you. He's not even asking for anything, like, you know what I mean, in that way. Like, he's just really generous person is what I'm trying to say, and he's put so many people on. When I want to hear dope hip hop, I go to Wrong Kind. I go to Wrong Kind's
Oh, yeah.
Instagram and listen to all their shit, and they got so many good artists. Ab K5, Mac
Yeah.
90, all these cats are like really talented people.
Wrong Kind's like legendary.
I know. Well, that's I know that. I know that, and that's why I'm bringing it up, because
Yeah.
he needs a Lifetime Achievement Award at the San Diego Music Awards.
I agree.
And that will
I agree.
let all these incredible artists from Southeast San Diego or East County or whatever know that they're being heard, and then there will be less, posturing toward people who aren't them and their friends, because if they feel like they're being respected and heard, and then you get somebody like Mitchie or myself and Robbie or Odessa on the committee to help with the hip hop selections.
Yes.
And we can objectively listen to all the music and give our opinion.
Yes.
I mean, I will not, like, I'm literally in here to listen to a good track, and I'm not moved by everything.
Yeah.
Right.
You
of
know,
course.
well, maybe I'm not even the right guy to be on that committee. You guys, you two right there, all three of you guys probably know more about hip hop in its current state than I do, because I'm in a whirlwind of beats that I listen to and songs that I'm writing. I don't really listen to that much music, to be honest. I listen to what I'm writing to mostly now, and
Yeah.
it's just me.
I mean, I think it's a good idea. There's this, you guys probably remember it, and I think they still do it. San Diego City Beats, the great demo review.
Yeah.
Every year, yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
So that's
You gotta do that,
2000
too. You gotta
you
submit
do.
to that.
That's what I was just gonna
You gotta
say. So
submit to that.
2001, I submitted my first EP to the great demo review for City Beat, and it got like a mixed review. But that was just like
2001.
2001 when I came here. Yeah, me and Buck had like 4 songs and
What was it-
submitted
what was the
it
name of
to
it?
I forget what the name of it was.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but I have the paper still. I have to find it.
I didn't know you. I didn't even know you came here in 2001.
Yeah, 2001 I moved here.
I was living here because I left
I
in
don't know.
2001.
Yeah, I think
or
you weren't here.
2002. Yeah.
But it's when Buck the Rabbit Killer, who was Tiger's Temple, and there's like just
Legend.
a lot of cool
San
history
Diego
within
legend.
that, yeah.
He was the one making
Kinetic
hip-hop
Source.
stuff
Kinetic
back then.
Source was in that. Yeah. So
Yeah, remember Kinetic Source, guys?
it's
Ozone
all,
Motley?
yeah, through
Ozone
Ozone
Motley,
Motley,
yeah.
But so that was where I started, and I got like half of it was good, half of it was bad, and it was just me starting, and like, I'm thankful and I'm grateful for hip hop music, and I'm thankful through African American culture that I'm able to do that, because that's where I got all my. I wouldn't rhyme if it weren't for African American culture. That's the
course.
bottom line, like there was like obviously tons of different musical influences in my life growing up, but that's what I latched onto. And I was a kid, and I didn't see any color then when I was a child.
No, I
I
didn't
just
either.
No kids
loved
do. I mean, yeah,
hip hop,
nobody
right?
does.
Our
Right.
generation
Just
is
kids,
kind of, our
But I
generation's kind of that generation who
Exactly.
just, it
You
just,
didn't. It was just
you threw
that's
it away.
What it was. Yeah,
You threw it
this
away.
is-
It was just
this
how
is
it
what
was.
it is. Like
No,
I grew up in
it was
Northern California.
socioeconomic. We were
Yeah.
divided by socioeconomics.
Exactly. It was just
so
money.
If
Yeah.
you're a poor white kid, you're
Yeah,
the same as
you're the same.
anybody else. Yeah.
Yeah, Filipino, Mexican, Asian. Well,
Yeah.
it didn't matter.
But
But,
Rob and I
like,
both come from that same background, by the way.
But so, just rapping was something that I loved, and like, it's poetry, and so this bigger picture, you're not hip hop. Whoever's doing it, you're doing your poetry, man. You're doing your hip hop, and you can do it in different forms.
Right. Of
course.
You can do it gangster. You can, if that's where you're from and that's what you're expressing and it's real, that's what you need to get out. If you have other shit to say, if you
Flower
if it's
lover?
more about whatever it is, man,
Done.
just do
Exactly.
it.
We hear English
I
teachers using it
understand.
now
I
in the classroom.
understand.
PM done.
I understand people being upset that they're not getting recognition. I understand them upset that maybe they're not catching the vote. And I think, honestly, like, we've built a career here in San Diego. People
Yes.
do
Yeah.
know
You
this
have a
name,
following.
VOKAB Company.
Yes, you have a following.
And that feels good. Like, I'm never going to take that away from ourselves, because that feels good, man. Like, we put in
Exactly.
10 years. That's a decade of doing this stuff. From
Exactly.
Being away from, dude, I flew out the day after I had my daughter 8 years ago to go play with hieroglyphics. Hyro signed us, by the way. That's how we got on, as far as like not Hyro themselves, but the agency Ineffable, which was made from Hyro. They also did Zion I Amp Live. They put us on in about 2012 because the manager of Iration heard us on the radio down on 91X.
Iration, I love
and
Iration.
that's how we, just so people know, though, for 4 years, we were totally, nobody was helping us out except us and our homies down at the Grand, who've made the Grand Artique since then, but we were all like this crew, like, let's get it done. And you know who we see now? I'm going to jump around, but Il Nicky's doing that with his little crew, the Il Movement. All those guys are making moves, and, they're like a 5 or 6 person team working for the art. And that's what we kind of have. Was
awesome.
We're the guys who
That's
run the
the
Rubicon
company.
Deli now. They didn't have it back then. The guys who were in the Grand Artique now, they didn't have it back then. And we kind of had the platform to get it all started for us, at least. Rubicon's different. But, we were out there, like, doing this thing. I'd been on tour, and me and Robbie got together, and Robbie's got young, and he's fucking crushing. And it was just sick, dude. Like, we were alive, man. We were pulsing, and we brought something new to the scene. And right away, it's so funny, because we said we lived in Pacific Beach, because I still live in Pacific Beach. You think I'm going to move from the beach? You're tripping. And dudes think we're soft. Oh, these guys are PB. Like, whoa.
Nah,
Yo,
stop
man,
that, bro.
imagine if
Stop.
yeah, but like that's what I got from the beginning when people first started hating. I remember the comments would be like, "These guys from PB," and I just would been going to Burning Man a bunch, so I dressed like a freak, man. I was like, and we got on with this total circus we met at Burning Man, and so they showed us how to perform, dude. Stilt walkers, fire jugglers, and they would all come and perform with us for free. So yeah, our show became more than hip hop right away, because that's how we saw people coming. We saw people being attracted. Oh shit, imagine this. Dope ass hip hop artist who no one's ever heard goes into a club and all he has is his 2 turntables and a microphone. If nobody in that crowd knows his music, 90% chance, dude, they're not, unless they're hip hop head, quote unquote, that's not going to connect. They don't know the song, and it's a little impersonal.
Or worse, the crowd is nothing but the artists that are also on that night,
exactly.
which is pretty much what
Yeah.
they're judging you like. When's he getting on?
But
so I can get on.
My point was this. I'm a person who wants to have success, and no matter what I do, and Robbie's the same way, like he said, he did the company, right? But first off, what do you do to ensure that success?
Exactly.
You researched to come on today about the San Diego Music Awards.
Of course.
That means you wanted your podcast to have some background information. You did the work.
Yes.
So we're like this. I'm like this. Yo, man, like people, even if you're a band that no one's heard and you're playing original music, it's still a band. Like, people are going to listen to the live drums being played. Because that's tight.
Yes.
People are going to listen to the live instruments. So my point would be is that, right away, we realized creating something bigger than ourselves, a company of maximizing talent and becoming a team, is how you connect with more people. Because your circle gets bigger by every person in there, 6 degrees.
You simply just can't deny
the
success.
Yeah.
I'm
just
at
saying,
home.
Everyone's connected to everybody
I'm
out
watching
here.
TV.
Yeah.
VH1, Love and Hip Hop. Between the commercials, VOKAB Company is being played while it's telling me what's coming on next. You can't freaking deny the success.
Yes, you guys have got placement.
Well,
You guys have got placement.
Yeah,
on
we've worked hard on that, and can be bitter.
No, you
Because I've been bitter too. This is what I'm saying though. Like, you can be upset about someone not being nominated or something, but you got to get busy. That's it.
do. Yeah.
That's it. Because
Even if you've been
I've been
nominated,
upset.
you could be upset about not getting
and that's
nominated.
okay. That's natural. Jealousy is a fucking natural primal part of yourself.
Yeah.
But
Drives you, man.
But use
Hip-hop is
use that
competitive.
to drive, and then you see how it is on the other side too. Like, man, the reason why we're getting this vote for best hip hop is because our name. And I know I can see people just default to saying, "Oh, I've heard of VOKAB Company."
Yeah, of course.
Vote.
That's what I do when I vote.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So
Right.
that's it.
City B
people
had a
just
great
know
name for
our
that. They
name.
called it
Right.
the voting drones.
Yeah.
One time they said only the voting drones will vote for VOKAB. And I was like, well, no, but look, do I remember it? And do I think it was? I think I'm a pretty objective person.
Right.
I'm a pretty objective person. That's why I can have this conversation when I call. Granted, we might get the voting drones because I know when I go to blues category, I only vote for Bill McGee because
That's the one you know, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You either take the time to go
but
and
there's a
search
reason.
everybody
Yo,
out,
but there's a
or you're like,
reason I
okay,
know Bill McGee. It's because he crushes it every fucking time.
Exactly.
And there's a reason why
Yes.
people would know our show. It's because regardless if Rob and I suck, our fucking band crushes, and I got so
There
much
you
respect for the hours we put in. He's talking about time. Do you know how fucking much we practice? I'm 44 years old, dude. Next month, and. Dude, I'm
no,
sick
you
of
told
going
me,
to band
yeah.
practice, dude.
You told me you
I
guys
am
practice all the
I want to
time.
go put my kids to bed, and they like it when I read them a story. Remember that?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, dude? Like anybody, that's where I get vicious, man. Is when people are like, "Oh, you don't deserve shit, motherfucker." I had to miss the birthday party. I was telling you, we flew out to play with Hyro after my daughter was born. Left my wife there with the baby, and my parents. Thank God. But you
Thank
know
you
what
for
I'm
the
saying,
parents.
dude? It's like very difficult, and honestly, Rob, I don't mean to cut you off here.
No, okay.
But like it's been hard on Robbie because we had success, we'd be on the road, and I'd be grumpy and sad, and I want to go home, and it's not something I can take. I'm like, Rob, I can't do this anymore, man. My daughter just cried on FaceTime. This shit. Like, what do I care more about, my ego and being this, successful rapper, this whoever identity I think I am, or do I care more about being a parent and being there so I can take the stress off my wife and enjoying these precious moments that are only going to be here for a blink of an eye. My daughter's already 8. And we really chilled on the touring, and I part of me like feels super bad about that because like that's how you stay relevant. You're touring all the time, you're playing these markets, you're keeping people up.
Yes.
So I fucking feel the pressure because like, man, like this is my thing. This is me and Robbie's like dream in our life, like so how I feel this way, like, but it's hard. Like I hated. Everybody got older and didn't want to tour. It's not just about me, obviously, but I mean I was definitely like feeling that. And I guess what I'm saying is that's why you appreciate anybody who gives you a nod on anything. Is like,
Right.
man, hard work,
Of
man. It
course.
took time.
Right.
Thank you. Like, thank you so much for noticing me. And that's why people who aren't feeling like they're being heard are mad.
Yeah, of
and that's
course.
okay.
Yeah.
And I'm with that.
Yes.
But I want to help.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not even saying, that's the thing. Neither Robbie or I will tell you that we are the best hip hop in the city. So Mitchie Slick is the best hip hop in the city. Okay?
Yeah, Mitchie
I don't want to
Slick,
stop
I like
anybody
Ryan
saying
Anthony.
shit. He is
Ryan
a
Anthony
fucking.
is
Oh, I
dope.
love Ryan
And
Anthony.
I like
you know I
Odessa.
do.
I got a lot
Odessa's
of respect
hella
for
dope, too.
Man, that's a lyricist right
Yes.
there. And,
But
and
first and foremost, Ryan Anthony will tell you Mitchie Slick is the
Right,
You know,
right. Oh,
I don't
yeah.
want to be the best
It's
they ever
respect.
been.
It's
Now
respect.
I'll go to Mitchie
Yep.
Slick. Like that's.
But I am the motherfucking savior. I be
man.
repping Dago like I'm stuck in labor.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like
He's got
everybody.
bars.
Yes, he
before
does.
San Diego hip hop goes anywhere, I want him to get his lifetime
sure.
achievement award from the
Slick,
San
if
Diego
you're
Music
listening,
Award.
man,
If they want to be
I
taken
think
seriously
that needs to happen.
in the hip hop
That
category,
needs to
they need to
happen.
have Mitchie in and be like, "Yo, man, you know, we're sorry.
Yeah.
here's
I
the
just-
check, dude."
When you
Here's
talk
the-
about
here's the bag.
San Diego hip hop, Mitchie Slick comes up. Of
course.
J.O.
Not just
Felony
because-
comes
Yo,
up.
not just because of his
You know?
success. He fucking, dude, his
His name's
rhythms,
synonymous
Yo, bro,
with
his
freaking San
rhythms
Diego.
are untouchable. He'll
Yes.
just be like, you know, his rhythms are just incredible. It's incredible. And his voice is is magic, bro. He don't overdub and use voice effects. That's his
That's him.
voice.
Yeah.
Bro. Like
Yeah.
that's the dude. Straight up. And that's like, and you know, and I ain't jocking shit. I'm an objective motherfucker. I'm telling you, that is the best I've seen. He's like one of the, not just San Diego. He is one of the sickest rappers. Everyone gives E40 because his rhythm, they don't know, right? But Mitchie's shit is easier to understand. His rhythms are like
I was going to
E40s.
compare that.
His-
I was going to say, you know, like the Northern California Bay Area movement,
Yeah.
Yes.
Mac Dre, like Romper Room.
Yeah.
That reminds me of like what's going on down here with Ron Kine and Slick. Like they are tastemakers.
Yes.
You know,
Exactly,
Mitchie Slick
dude.
is a tastemaker.
Yeah.
And that, like, you see it by his yada, like all this stuff, you know?
his
like
lingo,
this-
I mean, it's
it's
fucking
just good,
incredible,
man.
dude.
It's
Get
catchy,
that.
it's sticky.
Clack, clack,
it's-
clack, clack, clack,
yeah,
clack.
all that stuff's sticky, man. And that's creativity at its finest. That
Yes.
is real. That's a real
Yes.
artist right
Yes.
there.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of those in San
And like
Diego.
Ryan Anthony
that-
too, though. Back to that, like
For sure.
he pops, bro. He pops out.
Oh,
His shit
dude.
is so good, man.
Yeah.
And the way his rhythms are, I played him for one of the biggest like dubstep DJs out there. This guy Hero Bust. I'm like, bro, you gotta remix this shit. This is the hottest shit coming out of Southern California right now. So someone else always said, you know, why don't you retweet it or whatever? It's like, bro, when I hear something I like, I fucking tell everybody because I still want to be knowing cool
Yes,
shit.
right.
Like
Yes.
so. You know, and Robbie, I remember when Robbie showed me John Gibbs. We must have watched that video 1,000 times. That motherfucker
Yeah.
crushes
He's
it,
got
dude.
flow.
You know,
You
like
know
there's
him?
dudes out there that
John Gibbs? No.
Yeah, he's from Oceanside.
I've heard- no, I've heard-
just
I've heard the name.
performed a show.
Yeah,
with him.
Odessa did a show on
I've
that
heard
show.
the name. I've heard
and
the
name.
I saw another artist on that bill to die for. There's another artist down in San Diego that's killing who I follow on. By the way, I don't know about you guys, but I get all my music from fucking Instagram.
Most people do nowadays.
Yeah.
Social
It's
media.
crazy.
It's all
And
social
I'm
media.
such an ADD guy that like I can get a minute of a song and still just like I just keep listening to that minute until
that's-
if I like it enough I'll go
That
look it up.
shows you know, about Dago, period. A lot of these MCs, like, okay, they're complaining about the damn awards. They didn't get chosen. A lot of them didn't submit, so that's why
That's
you
why
didn't
you're
get
back to that.
chosen.
Exactly.
Yeah, but like,
Rick-
hello.
There you go. Yeah, there's platforms
Dude,
like
honestly,
you guys.
Hello.
Yeah,
we
I'm-
tell you submit music to get your spins. Who
yes.
actually listens?
There are
Hmm.
literally people who have told me, man, y'all don't even support my music, man. You know, why should I listen to you? I'm like, actually, your song played on episode 28. It was this song right here, and then it also played on episode 48. And I tagged you both times that it was going to play.
Exactly.
I tagged you after it played so that you knew about it, and then you're gonna come at me saying y'all don't support my music. Crickets
K-Rock,
after that.
K-Rock,
After
here's
I
the
said
thing,
that,
you
I was
support-
like,
you
it
are
was
the
crickets.
hardest, bro. That's why we're
And that's
talking
why I
today.
come with the hashtag.
We're
boom.
artists too. It's just like you said. It's just like you said. You said, hey, people say, oh, I don't retweet flyers or whatever, but you're sitting here telling somebody who you're seeing, you're saying, hey, this dude Ryan Anthony, that's exact, and you're an artist.
yeah.
You can actually, if you wanted to, say, I'm not going to show him anything
Right.
except for
My
VOKAB
shit,
Company,
never.
B3K,
What's funny is I
Red
never-
Giant, all that
yeah,
stuff. That's
yeah.
all I'm going to show this guy because I don't want to give this guy an edge because he's
Right.
my competition.
That's not it, though.
But that's
No.
not it. If
It's
you're
like-
the real artists like us, we have supported everybody, and we even created this station that only plays San Diego music. Now, if I was in the San Diego Music Award Committee, and I knew that there were two guys who ran a radio station that only does San Diego hip hop and R&B, I would ask them, hey, who do you think we should put in for hip hop this year? It kind of makes sense to go to the source, not to say, okay, well, who do I remember does hip hop out here? I think a lot of it has to do with laziness on the committee's part. It's a lot of the press is all about the rock bands, the alternative bands. That's kind of how it's always been.
Right.
And like you said, hip hop is kind of always been on the back burner. Right. So there is a lot of, there's reason for people to think, hip hop isn't being recognized out here because there are true statements about that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you have to do the minuscule amount of work that it takes to put your stuff in front of those people because they're not out looking for you. So if you know they're not looking for you, put your stuff in front of them so that they will look for you. If you can't do that, then you can't be salty about it.
No.
And then when they do recognize you, it's like it's even better because you know that they're not really looking for hip hop. So when you do get recognition from them, it almost makes it twice as better because you're like, they actually know who I am. They actually recognize me.
And I could be hella fucking salty. Far From Your Average, the Basement LP, was nominated.
Yes.
It lost out to Lyrical Groove. Now, before I even really get into this, I'm not hating on Lyrical Groove. They are awesome. They are hella fucking dope.
Yes.
Now,
Yeah, Kendrick's cool. Kendrick
do I believe they belonged in the hip hop category? No, I do not. I believe they are jazz musicians. They don't rap. They do spoken word, and that is usually synonymous with jazz.
But that's hip hop too.
It is.
But look, I would say that you're right.
It's
And
part
I'm
of the category
I'm sure that
issue,
Kendrick,
too.
if you talk to the guy doing the vocals, Kendrick, he would probably tell you, yeah, fuck whatever category we were in.
Whatever we're in,
whatever
right?
we're in, we're proud to be there.
Yeah.
Of course. And they should be, because they rock. They are dope as fuck.
Yeah, Kendrick is dope. We had him come do that Outcast thing with us.
Now,
go ahead.
Yeah.
I could be salty about that.
Right.
Dude, they don't belong here. They don't belong in my category. I lost out to them, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
No. I was proud to be there.
Right.
Can't nobody take that fucking nomination from me.
Yeah.
Even you haters on Facebook right now, because I'm nominated this year. I belong in the building, and you can't hate outside of the goddamn club, homie. Shut it down.
And I mean, look, I could be salty because my album, not only did it get played on 94.9, it got written about from San Diego and NBC, and I didn't get nominated. So I'm like, okay, well, it actually did get a lot of recognition, but I didn't get nominated. So am I supposed to say fuck the SDMAs from now on because my album wasn't there? Was I mad that it wasn't there? Of course I am. Anybody would be like, I should have been there, especially if it did get recognized. It kind of made me feel like, ooh, maybe it will be in there. But the fact that it's not there, I'm not going to say everybody who's there, fuck them all. Because I didn't make it.
Right.
I just it's one of those things where it's like better luck next year. Like we didn't win in 2014 for the Basement. We should have won, I think, but we didn't. But we didn't say fuck it. Then the next year he got nominated for Hype Bomb University, Def Sean. He didn't win then. We still didn't say fuck it. He's nominated now. We're still not saying fuck it. Even if he loses this time, we're not saying fuck it because we're getting recognized, and it's all about the recognition. And we did the work that it takes to get recognized. That's why we are nominated.
I can go off
and
the
you
way.
guys have done work for years.
Two-time SDMA nominated artists.
Real quick,
Objectively, you did the work. Objectively, you did the work.
Yes, we did.
That's what we're talking about. Objectively, you fucking climbed the stairs.
Yes.
That's it.
And this is what I hear from all of this.
You know me?
And
Yep.
I think we have a community. And we need to, as lame as it sounds, come together, man. Like, let's come together and let's use our powers.
Needs to have not just
our
the
power
fake
and numbers.
but real.
We got
SDU.
numbers, man. Like, we have numbers from all the way over to Southeast San Diego up to Oceanside.
Yeah. There's a scene up in Oceanside.
There's a scene power
yes.
here that we can
Yes.
all come together. Berkey's suggestion of like, hey Chad, how can we like start exposing and like what can we do? Because we do have a medium. If people are saying why is VOKAB Company here, there, whatever, then let's use that. Okay, why are we here? We are here. So let's just put that down and let's just
How can we help you?
Let's use
Right.
that.
How can
Let's
we
use
help
that
you?
fact that we are here and we can use this and like
And
let
you
me
guys
hear
are willing
use
to
it.
help.
No, but here's
you
the
guys
other
can
one.
say,
Totally.
hey,
Yeah.
we did our work and we got nominated. Fuck everybody, but we don't do that.
Look, I'll tell you what. Are we willing to help? All I can tell you is that I said it earlier, but I'll say it again. We fuck with people whose music moves us.
Yeah.
You know, I found Heartbreaker, that Asian rapper from Southeast San Diego, Laotian guy. He's incredible. I saw his
dope. We played his songs.
I went to SD Hip Hop hashtag on Instagram. I just want you to know this. And I heard him rapping, And I was like, my God, dude, is this real? Is this really his voice, or is he
he's
lip
dope.
syncing?
No,
and
he's
I
dope.
hit him a message. I was like, is that really you? Is that really your vocal? And his manager hit me back, yeah, that's him. And I was like, you guys want to come over to my house and talk? And we ended up producing. He got on one of our tracks, 2 of our tracks, and we produced a song for his record. It's called Gone. And
We played it.
it has 3 million views on YouTube. Like,
Yeah.
that's a lot for us independent artists from San Diego. Like 3 million views
Yes, it
is
is.
a lot of views, man. And Heartbreaker does that, and his team puts in the work.
Yes.
Had nothing to do with us. We got lucky.
You can
We
hear the
produced a
quality.
song
You
for
can
him,
hear the
yeah.
quality in the music. You
Well, a
can hear
lot
it.
of J. Again, shout out to J Watt Production. He does a lot of stuff for a lot
J
of us.
Watt.
For
Oh,
sure.
J Watt.
You know, he's done a
For
lot of
sure.
shit for this
Holy.
community. He does a lot to put people together. He put us in the room with Mitchie. That's how we met
yeah.
Mitchie. So that's how we met Mitchie. Heartbreaker found him on a hashtag. I got this new kid who used to be one of my students. His name is Trey Aces, and he's about to come out. And I took his record. The minute I heard it, I took it over to Mike Drummond over at Flux, who knows that mainstream sound. Am I helping people? I just got Il Nicky, who's another dope rapper from down here, in his first commercial or movie. Sorry, he had a sync on that new show with Trey Diggs, that show on CW. It's a football show.
Oh,
and Il
okay.
Nicky got a track on there. He's got
Placement.
Yeah, he got a placement.
Exactly.
Directly through me. He recorded that in my studio, my house. Okay. I didn't, and the guy sent me. He go, Burke, you know somebody for this track? I want more of an urban feel. I didn't send him back my vocals, bro.
Yeah.
I sent him back. I had Il Nicky come and do a verse, and then I got a verse from Mitchie like a week later, but it was right past the deadline, But I mean, I want to extend these opportunities to people who I think is dope.
Of course.
Exactly.
Of course.
When I first met Odessa Kane at Mitchie's party, he did a private release thing. First time I ever met Odessa, but I said his name on the music awards. Anytime we've ever won a music award, by the way, what I do is I make a list of all the hip hop artists. I just want to acknowledge, and I literally say everybody's name that I could think of. Literally, every single time. Bar none every time. People don't know who I am, but I'm saying their name up there. And if that doesn't speak for itself, I don't know what else does.
Right.
Second, if I'm I also set up Il Nicky's first tour, and I found him on Instagram. I started like, man, this kid's crushing, dude. And I heard people on that same post that they were dissing us, kind of dissing him. Oh, but that ain't hip hop either. Come on, bro.
Yeah,
his bars
nothing's
are
hip hop
ridiculous, man.
except for what you personally do.
Exactly.
And but
which
by
is
the way,
whack sauce.
objectively, whether you like his voice or his content or whatever, bro, that dude spits rhythms. He is
Yes.
one. Since another thing, man, is like rapping is more than just rhyming. People who have rhythms are on another level.
Yes.
Like Robbie's got some of the dopest double time you've ever heard. I can't even do it. Dude, this skin type when I speak to
Yeah.
like he's on it, bro.
For sure.
And that Nicky dude can do the same shit. He's a double time rapper. And the difference is anybody can write double time, but being in the pocket
Yes.
on double time,
Yes.
that's a different story. Dude.
Yes.
And again, man, I'm gonna
That's
talk
hard,
to you.
man.
I'm gonna
That's
talk to you
hard.
like a dude who has, quasi Asperger's when it comes to editing and stuff, man. Like I don't like stuff that's out of time. I don't like overdubs that don't sit right.
Yeah.
I don't like.
You can hear it, even if it's
dude,
like
I
a
fade in.
millisecond. You're like, oh, that's
I know
not
when
right.
something's pitchy or
Yeah.
flat. If I had any gift in hip hop, perhaps it's on that side. I know what sounds good and what doesn't. And you can ask Robbie, man, I'll redo a verse a zillion times and then I'll hate it, even when we put it out. I don't listen to music we've done. Maybe our albums do all suck. I haven't listened to them since we made them. So
They definitely don't suck. 'Cause I listen to
I'm
them.
just gonna be honest. Like I'm on to the next, and I'm never satisfied. I don't like anything except when I like something, and it's usually not my own shit. But I know when I got dope beats, and I know when I got a good hook.
See, there's probably some people out here who only listen to their own shit.
Well, that's I only listen.
You know what I mean?
Hold on, I didn't say
Or their
listen.
homie shit
I didn't say
only.
listen. I only listen to beats that I'm working on. That's all I fucking listen to, except when I go on my Instagram binges. When I'm in the tour van for 16
Gotcha,
hours.
gotcha.
So all these motherfuckers that also say the work is go sit in the car for 17 hours straight to play a show to
Yeah.
break even.
Yes.
And we pay our band and pay for a van payment and pay for insurance and all the websites and all that shit.
Yeah.
We gotta make a G almost to break even, dude, on a show. Think about that. Like, who else can say that? And someone
Hey,
else,
you guys are on another level, period.
somebody else said they
can't
made
take
they
that
made
away
a
from you
top
guys at
25.
all.
They made a top 25 and they were like, someone did, and they was like, we weren't on there, of course, and they're like, these dudes been putting in the work, and I really went on everyone's site to see how many shows they played this year, and I gotta say, I think we played as many shows as the entire list, I don't know what kind
possibly.
of work people are saying we're not
possibly.
doing.
That's probably the case.
Bro, I paid 153
That's
shows
San
one year.
Diego right there, man. It's only putting your boys on, man.
It's
Just so
salty
you
D.
know,
It's
though.
me and my
It's
boys.
only
Are,
putting your
that's it.
boys
Put those
on.
numbers in your head for a minute.
And this is my
biggest
problem
year
with
playing
it.
shows was 155 shows in 1 year. That is a show.
You are a touring band. Like, this is for real here.
Yeah, but,
you know?
but no, this was before I was in VOKAB Company. So my point is, you want to talk about putting in the work. We were a touring band, that's right, because I went online and I researched all the bands that were successful. I told somebody in that same post I said, if you want the recipe, just ask for it. And it didn't mean, how to write a dope track. It meant, this is how I did it, and I'd be glad to share it with you.
Right.
And how I did it was, this was back in 2004. I was teaching. I got a song in a movie with that band, and I went online and I researched all the bands that I liked. And guess what? Very few of them were hip hop, because I knew we wouldn't. At that point, I saw the hip hop numbers declining. I wanted to have a career and get money at shows enough to support myself and pay the band. So I started looking at all these jam bands. I was like, man, we can get in this scene, because I saw Lyrics Born there, his band, and I saw Al Howard Rock Will Crawl Dance in Tiny Universe in 2003 at High Sierra. So this is what I'm going to look up. It's these bands. And I looked at all their schedule, all the venues they played. This is what I did. I just looked at all the venues they played off my AOL computer, okay, the disc dial-up, and I wrote it all down. I wrote it all down on a piece of paper. It took me months and months to make this list, and I called all of them, and some of them I mailed a CD to with a package, and I got their address. But some of them said, we only accept an EPK, and this was Sonic Bids.
Do
Sonic Bids,
some of you
EPK.
artists even have an EPK?
So I had to make an
I doubt
EPK,
it.
and I sent it to all them, and they were giving me these shitty offers, $100 a night here, $200 a night here, whatever. And I started playing all the gigs. And once I was on the marquee, a booking agent hit us up and was like, I see you got all these shows in these markets that I run. Want me to book these for you? I can maybe get you a little bit more money. Sure. What do you want? 15%? Okay. So we start learning the business. We start and like I said, for years and years, I toured around the same route. I was never home. I quit a full-time teaching job I owned a house, all that shit, walked away from my entire life to follow my dreams with a concrete plan before Google Docs. But now if you don't use Google Docs, you slipping so fucking hard. I don't even want to hear it. You know what I'm saying? There's a recipe for success.
There's a recipe, and you got to put that
read a
work
Tim Ferriss
in.
book.
Yeah, and a lot of them they're not even in the kitchen.
I mean, we
They're
got
complaining about what you're cooking.
Yeah.
we got artists. We got artists who.
I don't even smell good.
We got artists who, they might, if anything, only put their album out on Bandcamp. If anything.
At least they know about Bandcamp
It's
now.
it's as simple as it takes to just look
If
to
that.
Google distribution. Google, how to get my song on iTunes. How to get
Holla
my
at
song
your
on
boy. I'll
like,
get you some
There
distribution.
you
It's
go.
nothing.
like it's really honestly like it's that easy, man. It's that easy. And to just be like, okay, well, I didn't make it, so the SDMAs are fucked up.
Yeah. I mean, okay.
Is your album
How
even
many
out?
local artists you can find on iTunes? I bet you it's a
Hopefully
handful.
everybody at this point. You gotta be kidding.
By now,
By now,
no,
it's
there's
free.
probably still
It's
people
only
who
30.
don't.
Listen, it's only $30 to upload an album to TuneCore.
By now, everybody should
It's
have
only
something.
$30, dude.
If you
I'm
want to be
being
taken
honest.
seriously,
I think it
you got to
depends.
do
But
the
yeah.
simple.
I
You
just
got to
looked
do
at
at
it
least
like
that.
yesterday. I know Burgundy told us something else, but we're also doing some cool projects. So no, we don't. Okay, not to switch gears here, but no, we don't just write hip hop. No.
You shouldn't be.
fucking
You
no.
shouldn't put yourself.
Why
I
out
know,
to?
there.
but I'm just gonna be honest here. We're
Yeah.
writing this record for this lady. Her husband passed away, and he had recorded all his vocals. And she came to us at a show and was like, I'm gonna pay you X amount of dollars per song to bring this stuff to life.
That's
What
awesome. That's
an
awesome.
honor! Are
Yeah.
you kidding?
That is a
And
huge
it's
honor.
so different than what we've been used to. It's like kind of funky, kind of jam bandy, kind of like soul. He's always singing. His vocals are present on everything, and he's definitely not hip hop. Okay, but we added a hip hop. If you listen to our parts on it, you're not gonna go. You're gonna go, well, those parts seem hip hop-ish, because Robbie. I myself don't always sound that. I sing a lot of stuff nowadays, but Robbie is a hip hop artist and he's fucking incredible. And he's got a new project coming out, B3K, and I'm like all about it, because he and I we're drifting in certain ways. He's like, I want to do more hip hop and this kind of stuff, and and I'm like, I honestly I don't want to do hip hop. I want to do R&B. I want to do some like some trap R&B stuff that I actually listen to.
It's like a
I don't
change of
listen to-
scenery,
Yeah, I don't listen to a ton of hip hop, man. Like I've
gonna be
grown. I'm
dope.
44 now. I'm not in that stage. If it's angst hip hop, I'm not into it. If it's dictionary hip hop, I'm not into it. I fucking like shit that other people bag on. Well, you find me listening to something on the radio, it might be Juice WRLD. It might be fucking, like I like shit that sounds good, man.
Yeah.
I'm not listening to fucking hear the same shit.
Yeah, but that's the beauty of it, is that you can do whatever you want, you know, like that. Music is art. It's a performance art. In a lot of ways, it's like acting.
Yeah.
You get into that character.
Yeah.
You know, like if you got something, like a message, like Polytricks, if you got something to say and you're a little upset, fucking breathe that passion.
Put it out there,
You
man.
know what I mean? If it's something like cool and fun and girls and beach and blah, blah, you know, make that
Dude,
fun, you know?
I
And-
want to do a crazy project, all auto-tune, more T-Pain-ish, not
Dude,
Future.
Man, T-Pain is so good.
More
That's a
T-Pain-ish,
talented dude.
and it's all R&B. It's all about freaking love, and I want to name the album "Love and Other Drugs."
There you go.
There you go.
I like it.
There you go.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna stick in no box for nobody.
There you go. That's the thing, you know. So me wanting to like go back to a little bit more of like the stuff that I really like grew up on, you know, where it's like I love Jazzmatazz. That album for me, is just like something that's like
Come on, man.
just really like opened up, you know.
Yes.
You know, so
Yes.
this album that I'm working on it has a little bit more jazz root. There's a couple trap style songs on it. There's a song that's kind of like got its like, you know, verbal like assault kind of stuff on it, and then there's most of it though is smooth. I wanted to keep it smooth. I wanted to be poetic. I wanted to just like say everything that was on my mind without it making feel like Berkey was relating to it, because he doesn't relate to my story always. I don't relate to his story always.
Yeah,
you know?
right.
So like we just
Sometimes
said,
you just got to say what you need to say.
Exactly.
Right.
He can say what he needs to say, and then when the group comes together, they say what they need to say.
Exactly.
exactly.
It doesn't
So-
always have. You don't
No.
always have to write with all of the group in mind.
No, you don't.
And people
'Cause the
thought-
Phantom, he does his own thing.
He's
Yeah,
done
see,
solo
that's what I'm
albums. He's
saying.
done solo albums for years. As even though we've been in this Far From Your Average thing,
Right.
He's had his solo albums which sound totally different from what the group does. My solo albums sound totally different
Yeah.
from what the group does,
Yeah.
and even us as a group, we've our album Stage Crasher is like the biggest example of how crazy we are, because there's one song that's straight up
Heavy metal.
classic. There's one that's metal. There's one that's like club song. There's
One that's super
there's
smooth.
there's a super smooth song. There's an R&B type track on there, dude. There's straight up classic hip hop. Aki did a production on there. That's how we've always rolled. Like, we don't want to just put ourselves in a box, and nobody should ever do that. You know, if you're an artist, if you want to do R&B, do R&B. If you want to make a metal, I want to make a metal album personally.
But then it would be
I
metal.
can fucking do it. It would be metal, but I can fucking do it if I
rap
want.
on
And
it.
who
Lil
cares?
Wayne did.
You know,
Exactly.
like that's just how it should be.
Lil Wayne
So-
did a whole rock album.
I
bro.
know.
There you go. There you go.
He learned like 5 licks and just was a guitar player.
Now,
But man,
now,
so-
if we did do a metal album, would we then be? Would the SDMAs be able to categorize us?
right.
See, because there's another issue with SDMAs as far as categories go.
Yeah.
It seems like they have kind of a limited amount of categories, so they try to throw people in certain ones because they have Americana, which is like, you know, they have blues, jazz, whatever. Like, going back and doing the research, like, I saw that like 1 year Buck 09 won for best world music. World music is not Buck 09.
No.
Right.
Buck 09 is for straight up ska. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's not world music.
Yeah.
But
I think
but because they kind of like, they have to put them somewhere,
Right.
You know, I think some of this stuff is limited, and then
Well, I'm sure their
as far as
resources are
hip hop
limited,
goes,
yeah.
anything hip hop, even closely related to hip hop,
gonna
they
go
might
in
throw
there.
in there.
Yeah.
Even if the artists such as us who are like, that's not really hip hop, or is it? Right?
Like, okay.
I mean,
Like the guys that are nominated now with the Fry song.
yes, the microphone died.
Okay, this is just the hip hop head in me, so please, anybody listening, don't take offense to
They
it.
got a lot of heat on the FB post as well. Like,
I'm
they still
sorry,
get
that-
the heat today.
That should definitely be in a pop category.
It's kind of a comedy. It's kind of a comedy
it's
record,
real
but
popish, and you know, hip hop
they
heads
probably
take their
didn't know where
craft
to
seriously.
They probably didn't know where to put it, so they put it there.
Yeah.
And then the hip hop heads are like, "What the fuck is that?" It's a comedy. It sounds like a
Yeah.
comedy album. It sounds like a comedy type group to me. Looking at
I mean,
it,
come on, let's be honest. Going to the Grammys, if you saw Weird Al Yankovic being nominated for a hip hop album,
best hip hop. It'd be kind of like, why is he there? You know?
somebody.
But the
gonna bring
Grammys has a
noise.
comedy category.
Right.
and
What
they
about
have-
but what
that's
about the
issue
Fat
too.
Boys? The Fat Boys was always busting
That's
funny
true.
ass raps,
That's
bro.
true.
But
I was-
that was
you
hip hop.
could-
though.
That was hip hop.
They were beatboxing, they were
Don't
rhyming, they were
you dog me.
Yeah, I think maybe their
Roxanne.
resources are limited, and I'm not sure who's picking the categories for best hip hop. I mean, I know whoever's doing it, they probably think they're doing an okay job, So it's like, where can
they are if they're putting us in there.
We've all been in
to?
there, and if
Who can we
Odessa was
talk
here,
to? Yeah.
he was here. He would have been here too.
Parker's in there. I mean, they are
Parker's in
recognizing
there.
some tight
Yes,
shit.
they are,
That's the
yeah.
thing is like you were saying to me, you're like, yo, it's funny that these cats are saying this on their own thread when their homies are
Some of their homies,
some of their homies
are on there and
But they do
nominated
that-
or been nominated before. It's like
They do that
how are you gonna say
oxymoron
it's-
thing, though.
it's
oh,
bogus?
this is booty, but congratulations to my homies.
Right.
Like, how are you going to say that? Like, you can't. It's a double-edged sword. You can't say one thing
No,
without the
but
other, man.
I want to go back to one
You're
thing
dissing
though,
everybody
before we get too
and
much
your homies.
on the trip of like, I definitely want to reiterate the fact that anybody who deserves to be heard should be heard.
Yes,
That there's a section of the city feeling like they don't have a voice and thus that they're not being heard, and that needs to be corrected and fixed.
Indeed.
Because the best rappers I've heard are in that realm of not being mentioned. Although
Yes.
they did recognize Ryan Anthony this year. That's
Yes.
incredible. Rob Stone is on there, so I don't care if you hate on Rob Stone or not. I mean,
Hey.
people always talk about put the city on. That dude had a platinum record.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
From the city.
We
yes.
spun him before he got
Yeah,
hot.
and Nick Cannon put the
We
city.
did.
Nobody be talking good shit about Nick Cannon, but Nick Cannon put the city on. He had Mitchie Slick and Ryan Anthony open.
And he had Bowers, which is
Bowers
like,
on
hey,
the label.
big up to Bowers. I hope you
recover well.
hope you recover,
Yeah.
man.
He put Kalani on.
I mean,
Yes.
honestly, I hit up Bowers when I first heard Bowers too, and I was like, let's do a track, and it didn't
Bowers
work
has
out.
something from DJ Premier.
Yeah,
like,
it didn't work
I saw
out.
that. I was like, holy shit.
It didn't
man.
work out, but it wasn't like I wasn't reaching out when I
Yeah.
see people that I think are dope.
Exactly.
Back to that point, that's always been my way, and he knows from the get-go. Like I was always like, oh, be tight. Let's reach out to this guy. Let's reach out to this guy. Let's reach out to this
Yeah.
guy. Because collaborating is everything.
Collaborating
And
is
that's
the best,
way
man.
you get a new
Indeed.
sound. You don't have a new sound doing you. You have a new sound combining you and someone else. Which is why Robbie and I, my last album before Robbie was not as successful. Robbie's album before me was not as successful. When we got together, that's why that impact happened. It was
That's
like
the
Robbie's
click right there.
low
Synergy.
voice, smooth flow, real rhythmic. Mine, my aggressive kind of
Yep.
high voice, like it's fucking it works.
It works really well. You're like the yin to his yang. Or,
It's
Exactly.
the yang to my yin.
Oh, there you go. There you go. But, I would like to formally volunteer to any committee members who may be listening.
Yeah.
When it comes to every year when you have to decide who should I pick for best hip-hop album, maybe you can ask somebody like myself
I think that's a great
who
idea.
listens to the hip-hop of the city because I have to put it on the station.
Exactly.
I may know a little bit about something that you don't know. You know what I mean?
Or at least
Like
I
when
can
it
add
like
to the
my
conversation,
like my
right?
dude TJ from 94.9, I've sent him
TJ.
TJ.
What's
I've
that
sent
studio
him.
what's that studio he runs down in? It's like right off Rosecrans. That's his, right?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
He's
But
got
he's in Buckfast Super Beat.
Yeah.
He does the local 94.9 every Sunday.
Yeah, we met with him. We did that show with him for.
No, I know
the
who he
Hard
is.
Rock,
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
We
you know
judged that competition.
he's wanted to put hip hop on his show. He's in a band himself.
Yeah.
Of course, he's part of
Ballroom,
the rock scene.
Palace Ballroom, right?
Palace
Buckfast.
Ballroom, I think. Yeah, and then Buckfast Super Beat. He's wanted to put hip hop
he's a
on his
Buckfast
show
Super Beat.
so that it's not just rock bands.
Yeah.
So a lot of the times I've sent him stuff and brought some new stuff to his attention that he's put on there, and I really appreciate him, supporting the scene. He doesn't have to, but he supports it. He'll reach out to me, ask me, what's going on in the city, what do you think?
Well, Tim Piles also.
Tim Piles, of course. Tim Piles has been
I heard him have
out here
Odessa on
forever.
before too, though.
Yes.
So he's,
Yes.
he's doing we're all just doing our best to hear who's making dope shit.
I mean, it's pretty sad that the only people that we have that we can really give our music to hip hop wise is the guys from the alternative stations, because 90.3 sucks.
95.7. Hold on, 95.7 plays
93.3
and
sucks.
They did that.
No,
remix for
95.7.
him, yeah.
95.7 has been. 95.7 has been that they've been doing the heat of the week. They actually do support local hip hop. So on regular radio stations, that's the one to go to for. Really, honestly, for the local hip hop that
For
actually
all the
really
underground
supports
artists.
hip hop as a whole.
Everybody out here want to be listened to. That's just a hardcore fact. But at
Anybody
the same
anywhere.
time,
Yes.
when you have a platform already in place that can get you heard, why would you not fuck with them? Why would you not submit your music instead of, you know what, if they can do it, I can do it, and then you try to start your own radio station, and it flops, and then you still bitch, whine, and complain that you're not getting heard.
Like, it shouldn't be hard. We shouldn't have to ask artists to send us their shit.
Send
Honestly,
your
it
stuff.
should be something that you do automatically because you want your shit heard by people. So I don't know why it would have to be that way.
Same thing.
Just-
On that thread, they were talking about, I'll start my own music awards.
Why?
Really?
Like, why don't we make the one in the city that actually matters? Why don't we make that one better? Why don't we do that
Yeah, there you
instead of
go.
starting
Maximize
a
potential.
hip hop
Exactly.
awards?
And that one, yeah,
Make them
it's already
care
it's-
about hip-hop.
Yeah, there you go. It's
Yo, I
already
gotta get
it's
going
already
here.
got a big
All that
platform.
saltiness, they're gonna have high
Man,
blood pressure, man.
You know what? Berkey and I were constantly saying, man, how come we don't get to perform at the San Diego Music Awards? You know?
we had that thought too.
And now we just got asked. So it's like
Took a decade.
I'm very
It just-
happy to see
sometimes
that.
It takes,
Yeah,
sometimes
you know?
it takes that.
and that's honor. Like, thank you to them because they do recognize, and I'm
Finally,
sure all
finally,
these
yeah.
other artists out there they will get recognized if they just like start looking up the avenues. And if we can all
Yes.
if we can get
Yeah.
a forum on Facebook, whatever we can do, if there's like some way that we can kind of communicate. I know everybody's busy, but like just having some kind of like, I know there's
But no haters allowed. If we're gonna do
SD
it,
Love.
it's gotta be no
exactly.
haters allowed.
I want to give a shout out to
They can't
SD
be
Loves
haters.
Hip Hop on Instagram. It seems like they do a lot of good
Yes.
jobs at promoting
Nate-
a lot of the local
Nate,
talent around
that's
here.
Nate Witzel. I subbed for him.
Nice.
But I think
Teacher down
that's
at Garfield.
Nice.
Yeah.
yeah,
Nice.
like so those platforms like let's combine, man. Let's get it. Like whether it's doing a showcase or whatever it is, like let's
Yeah.
just communicate. If you got a gripe, just let it out there.
Get your
Who
grind
remembers
on.
undergroundhiphop.com?
Well, see, Rob, that's the
Everybody's
And
getting on there. That
Quan
was,
Vu was doing
yeah.
something for. He had an SD
Right.
raps. SD
Right,
raps.
that's right.
time.
I remember
What happened to
that.
I
I remember
remember
that.
What happened to Quan Vu?
Oh,
I don't think
remember.
he liked
I
us.
remember. He didn't like us either. He didn't like us either.
But that's all good. I mean, you gotta have haters, you gotta have likers. That's a part of the game. You can't your friends if you're just being liked, it's
Echo
usually
chamber.
just your friends.
Well, honestly, if
Yeah.
you're going to be
Yeah.
that kind of guy who has a website like that, showcasing SD hip hop,
Right.
you got to take your own personal
Yeah, that's
thing
true.
out of it,
Right.
Because honestly, that you can't be biased
No,
when it comes to that.
if
'cause you're
it's
trying
all going to
do
be
the
about your friends,
city's-
you might as well be your friend's manager.
And that's maturity.
Hey,
You know what I'm
I
saying?
gotta get going. I think
Okay.
you too, right? I'm not
Yeah.
sure you might be able to stay, but
I just like to thank VOKAB for coming in.
Indeed,
Honestly,
indeed.
like
Hey,
this
thank
needed
you
to
guys.
happen. It's sad that you guys have to like answer your critics, if you will. But you guys deserve to be
Well,
there.
thank
You
you for
guys have put in the
listening,
work
critics.
for years.
Yeah.
And you know what? We really do need to come together instead of hating, instead of being salty D. We really need to come together and say, okay, how can we make the SDMAs work for us? Okay,
Right.
They're all about the bands. The bands, they don't need any help, but SD hip hop needs help, and we all need to get together and do something. As far as hopefully they're listening and they can take some of these suggestions that we've had and change it up and make it better. And honestly, if you haven't done the work yet to even get your album in front of them, you really can't complain.
Holla at me. I got.
Dude, please submit
Avenues.
your music to the station in San Diego
I have
that only
avenues. You
plays
need
San Diego hip
distribution,
hop.
talk to
We
me.
bump radio. Just
Spins,
submit it.
Talk to me. You
Just
want
submit
the
it. It's that easy.
SDMAs, talk to me. But the hating, that gotta stop.
Anybody got a final word here?
It's easy to write music that you like. The trick is to write music that everybody likes.
Yes.
And
Right.
that's what
Yes.
an artist does. They grow so they can like. I want to have. Sam Cooke said this. I want to have not just people in my community hear my music. I want to have the world hear it. And
Yes.
that's hard, man. That is
Yes.
hard work. So,
Honestly.
So like, if you think that's selling out, you're incorrect. But
Exactly.
you need to definitely like figure out like. What's your voice, and that's going to take years to figure out what your voice is. What's your sound? What are you talking about? Where's the substance,
Yes.
Like figure out that, and then that's a good start.
I just want to give a shout out to WeBump Radio.
Yeah, shout out.
This is Berkey here with VOKAB Company, and we just
Yes,
want
sir.
to extend our ear to anyone in the city who is trying to make any moves that we might be able to help with. Robbie B3K is my partner, and I, Berkey, VOKAB Company. You can find us on Instagram and
Send
let
us an email.
know.
Info at
guys are everywhere.
vocabcompany.com. INFO at vocab, VOKAB, company, KOMPANY.com. Berkey and I will get back to you as soon as we can, but we'd love to hear what your thoughts are, gripes, anything, man. Let's
I'd
get
like to hear
together,
your
though.
music.
Yeah, there you go.
And
Yeah, yes.
Send it to me. Listen, here's the thing. If you're going to put attention Berkey, or if you want me to listen to it, send it to me before you're done. Because if you send me something that's done, you might not hear back from me. But you'll always hear back from me if you send me something before it's done. because I'll tell you what you need to fix. And I don't mean that as an insult.
No, it's called constructive criticism.
Well, that's the only way I listen.
Exactly.
And people forget you can get a 99% on a test, which is a high A+. But if you show me your paper, or your teacher your paper, which one are they going to circle? The one you got fucking wrong. So I listen to music like that, unfortunately, to a lot of people's chagrin.
A lot of people
don't enjoy that.
Sure. They want to hear you say it's great.
Yeah, exactly. And it happens at practice, and it happens everywhere. When I hear one thing I don't like, I'm very adamant about that one thing rather than all the stuff I like, because it should be assumed, that's what you are looking to fix.
Yes.
We're all trying to get somewhere, and none of us are perfect. So the
Definitely.
more we can help each other in that way get better, that's really important. Shout out to WeBump Radio.
Yeah.
Thank you
Def
so much.
Sean.
Thank you guys.
Def
so
Sean,
much,
I wish I could have met
Ray
Motormouth.
G. Thanks, y'all.
Hey, he's got
He's
a
a
face.
mystery.
He's got a face for
Motormouth.
radio, as he always says. He's got a face for radio, baby.
Odessa, we'll catch you next time, bro.
Oh, definitely. We definitely want Odessa to come in another time. We can even continue this conversation on another time. Maybe after the awards. Maybe we'll get get the aftermath. You know what I mean? But we'll definitely keep this going. And anybody have any comments about what they heard? What we should be doing? If you want to submit your music, please hit us up. WeBump Radio. Please hit us up. We're everywhere, man. It's easy. So go ahead and do that. But thank you so much, guys, for coming in. I know you guys got to run. So it was great seeing you.
Thanks, Ken. Thanks, Dad.
Peace out, y'all.
You are now listening to Motormouth on WeBump Radio.
Y'all get the point? Do you? Do y'all finally get the point? Let's recap. Stop hating. That's simple. That damn simple. Stop hating. Yeah. It's a bad thing. Okay? It's not good. It's never good. In any circle, in any race, hating is not good. Is that clear? Okay. Hating is not good. Okay. Hating's bad. Hating's real bad. Okay. Now that y'all got it, I'm gonna get the fuck up out of here. Deuces. We bump.